So this is my review for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Now let me say this, when it comes to the first one, I thought it was decent, like I had a decent time with it, but I'm not like a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. I never played the games. I'm not a hardcore fan who knows all the lore. Like I said, I thought the first one was decent, but nothing special. I wasn't really interested or excited for the sequel. And my thoughts on the sequel is that I thought this was terrible. Like I said, I don't think the first one's like real good or great or anything like that. It's at best decent, okay. It's one of those movies I thought was decent enough. At the same time, it was forgettable. The first one, I will say the first one is better than this one though. This one to me felt like this. Like I know these movies are made for the Five Nights at Freddy fans, so I totally understand if fans have more fun with these movies. As someone who doesn't play the games, who doesn't know all the lore, I thought this was a bad movie. It just the characters, they really get nothing to do in this movie. The cast, like, and the story in this movie, I think is terrible. Like the first movie didn't have a great story or like a really good story either. I would say the story in the first one is better though than the story in this. This movie feels like it's just a bunch of stuff happening. It doesn't even feel like this movie has a story. It just feels like a bunch of stuff happening in this movie. And there's a lot of times in this movie, even as somebody who's never played the games, I could tell there's moments in this movie where if I was somebody who knew the lore and everything, I would be excited for certain moments in this movie or certain things. Since I didn't play the games, there's just a lot of times in this moment where it feels like stuff's just thrown in here and stuff's just happening, and I could tell there's a certain points in the movie where I'm like, yeah, I guess I would be excited for this if I played the games. As somebody who's not played the games, it just feels like a bunch of scenes put together. This movie, it doesn't really feel like it has much of a plot at all in this movie. There's also stuff at the end that just feels very like thrown in last minute to me when it comes to like characters and just characters making stupid choices in this movie that annoyed me. When it comes to the cast, Josh Hudson, who I think he's a really good actor, honestly. I thought he was okay in the first movie. He's a great actor though. His character really doesn't get anything to do in this movie. Like they just give nothing for his character to do in this movie. He's not like story wise. I feel like he's just kind of there in this movie, the character, and they don't do anything like really much story wise with his character. I, so I feel like he's just kind of like just there. Elizabeth Leia as Vanessa, the girl from the first movie, she got on my nose in this movie. Okay, mainly because I there's a lot of times in the movie where I was just like she's hiding stuff that I don't understand why she wouldn't tell Josh Huston's character and his sister about what like all this stuff going on in her past that she didn't tell him about. I just to me, there's a lot of stupid choices she makes in this movie that like annoyed the hell out of me. So just dumb decisions by characters. I thought Matthew Lillard, who from what I understand, I know he said he's like that he is his character is supposed to be like the Voldemort of the Harry Potter movies. His character is just barely in this movie, which I think sucks. As somebody who's a Matthew Lillard fan, he's like in like one sequence in this movie, and then the end sets up, I guess, for his character to play like a big role going forward. That idea of his character being Voldemort in this series, when it comes to that villain who's like you're hitting at building up, and then and like I guess at some point in the movies he's gonna be like the big bad you lead up to. His character, though, in this movie is just barely in this movie. Like I said, he gets one sequence in this movie where I think Vanessa's in like some type of like I can't remember. She's having like a she's in one. It's like a dream sequence, like how Josh Huston's character had about like stuff that happened to his brother in the first movie, and that's it. I feel like he was wasted in this movie. I understand what they're trying to do with what he said. I just feel like not. He's just wasted in this movie, in my opinion. You also have the actor who played. I'm forgetting the name of the actor. Who Skit, who played Billy. I think that was the name of the Ghostface killer in the original Scream movie. So I was excited to see these two actors together because I don't think I've seen these two actors in a movie together since the Scream movie. They don't have any scenes together in this movie. Also, his character in this movie, he's in one scene of this movie, and I felt like he was just wasted in this movie. I know at the end of credits you do hear like an audio thing where it's his character talking, so I guess that's supposed to set up his character maybe playing more of a big role in this movie. At the same time though, his character is just literally there for exposition. He's just there to give exposition for one scene in this movie, and that's it. So I felt like he was wasted in this movie. The idea that Josh Hudson's character is a sister that she would want to like go back for friends when they killed people in the first movie, from what I remember. I, I thought that was kind of dumb personally. I think the lore got very convoluted in this. Again, I don't know the lore from the games, so let me make that clear, like I made clear a bunch of times here. I'm not somebody who knows the mythology and lore of the games. So I'm just judging this as a movie, and I feel like the plot got very convoluted in this movie. The actor who plays uh, Freddy Carter, I think his name of the actor. Freddy Carter, who plays Vanessa Shelley's brother in this movie. He's like in the beginning of the movie, and he comes back at the end of the movie. Like he's in the beginning, and he just disappears for a huge chunk of the movie, and it's revealed at the end that he's the brother of the girl from the first movie and this movie, the Vanessa character, and that just felt so like thrown in. It felt like they were just like, let's just throw everything at the end without organically like getting there. It just feels like, yeah, let's just he's in the beginning, he disappears, and let's just reveal this there and then where he's the brother, and let's just like his character just felt like thrown in there to me at the end. It felt like at the end of the movie they were just throwing stuff in the movie. I'm assuming it's stuff from the games, but it just felt like it was just like they were just throwing stuff in the movie. So that was another problem I had. Again, this feels like a bunch of scenes in this movie to me. It doesn't feel like it has a plot. This movie's PG-13 also, and so the kills don't really do much for me in this movie. Like they cut away from some of the kills, so it's like I do think they should just make these all rated because I do feel like they all kind of like again, I haven't played the games, but it feels like the movies feel really toned down. I feel like you just need to make them all rated. Because there's a lot of kills in this movie. I'm just like, really, you're cutting away from the kill there, so you don't get any good kills in this movie, in my opinion, personally. You also have the the actress from Ghostbusters Afterlife and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire I'm forgetting the name of the actress. Oh, McKenna Grace. There we go. As Lisa, a paranormal hunter, where she has like her and her own crew go to like haunted places to like it reminds me of like Ghost Hunters or something like that. Her character and her friends. McKenna Grace is wasted in this movie. I'm a fan of her as an actress. Like I loved her in Ghostbusters Afterlife, and even though I don't like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I still think she's good in that movie. And I like her as an actress. She's wasted in this movie. Like they don't really give her anything to do. And the one, like the like mechanic things, the Five Nights at Freddy's mechanic. characters. They look great in this movie. Like Joss Hutton's sister, her like friends, the mechanic things. So I'm forgetting the name of the characters. They look like it looked great in this movie, but at the same time they look kind of goofy when it comes to like the characters Fosse, Freddy, like those animal thing mechanic things. It's just to me they look great, the practical, but they also look kind of goofy. And the new one in this movie, which I forget what it's called. Sorry about this. I'm like again, I don't know the lore when it comes to these movies. What are the name of the characters? Characters. The new one they introduced in this movie. Oh God, I forget the name of the. And what I guess marionettes. Yeah, that was the marionette. It's the black and white animatronic character who I thought that looked creepy, actually. Like the idea, it's like it goes into people's body and controls them. Like it takes over McKenna's Grace character. I thought that looked kind of creepy. I do think it's real. That would be at like a kids pizza place. Like I feel like the other animatronic ones, I could see why they would be at a kids pizza place, but the one that's like black with the white mask, the marionette, I feel like that one I'll be like, really? That? Why would you? I feel like that will look creepy to kids. It has a decent opening. I thought the opening was decent in the movie. Otherwise, like besides the opening being decent, I never cared about any of these characters. The Vanessa character got on my nerves in this movie with those stupid choices of hiding stuff, which I just didn't understand. They don't give it really much for Josh Hudson to do, or the actress who plays the sister. It like the story gets very convoluted in this movie. It feels like they're just throwing stuff at the wall at the end of this movie, and the setup, like this movie feels like a setup. Also, that's another problem I have with this movie. This feels like a movie that feels like this is just a setup the next one, and I'm not really a fan of that. Like I said, even as somebody like I've said multiple times that hasn't played the games, this feels very much like they just do stuff in this movie, and this is a setup movie. Which it just doesn't, like I said, it doesn't feel like this movie has a plot to it. It feels like moments. So overall, I thought this was a bad movie. Five Nights at Freddy 2. I would not recommend this movie. And to be honest, after two movies, this franchise, it's not for me. I can understand these movies making money because the games are popular, and I can totally understand fans loving these movies, and these movies are made for the fans. I can get that. At the same time, in my opinion, though, at least for me personally, again, I'm happy for fans who love the games, that love these movies. I feel like, though, when you're making it something based on a video game series, you can't just make it just for the fans. You also have to make it for people like me who don't know the lore and don't play the games. And that's my problem one of the problems with these movies is that they feel like they're just making them for people who know the games. And I can feel it in these movies. And for me personally, it really kind of keeps me from enjoying these movies all that much because I feel like when like stuff's happening in this movie and fans get excited, I'm just kind of like, well, didn't I don't get it. Like so it's just it's one of those things where I feel like when you adapt something, you gotta make it for not just the fans, but also for people who just don't play the games. And I feel like these movies, just for me personally, I'm glad for the fans who love these movies. After two movies, I can say as somebody who's not into the games, these movies just aren't very good in my opinion. This one makes the first one look really good, and that was just, in my opinion, decent. Not bad the first one, but just decent when it comes to the first one. So overall, I thought the second one was terrible. Until next time, movie fans.